So you are a pelvic floor physical therapist.
Yeah.
Now, I need you to explain that to me as if I were a third grader.
So if you went to your doctor
Mm-hmm.
and they wrote you a referral for pelvic floor physical therapy, what do you think would happen? Like, you would make that appointment for the pelvic floor therapist. What do you think would be waiting for you?
Well, I think I have a good idea because, I am a TikTok connoisseur.
Yes.
And there are a few pelvic floor therapists who, come about the For You page.
Right.
And just a little disclaimer for anyone listening. I'm going to talk about what one of the things for pelvic floor therapy is, which is pain during sexual intercourse.
Yeah.
So if you don't want to hear about that, maybe fast forward. I don't know. So one of the things that you do is you talk to people who have pain during intercourse. Mm-hmm. Bladder control you also handle, and you also handle constipation too, right?
Yeah.
It's very wide.
It's wide.
Very wide.
Yeah.
But you also do general PT too.
Yeah.
Sometimes too, right?
Yeah.
What would you say the makeup of your schedule is?
It kind of
like 50-50?
Yeah,
or?
that's like, it kind of goes in waves. Right now, I'm probably like 75% pelvic.
Okay.
To be honest. So you were spot on. I treat all those things.
Yeah.
So your pelvic floor, for those that don't know, is like a set of muscles that sits between your two pelvic bones, like a bowl or a sling. And it helps you, like, when you need to go to the bathroom, to be able to do that. When you want to have intercourse, both men and women, bowel movements, having babies and all that, right? And so it has a lot of responsibility, right? And then it also can go wrong. Things can go wrong.
Yeah.
And so I treat the muscles of the pelvic floor just like you would go to therapy for your shoulder, your knee, or anything like that. It's like really similar techniques. I just focus more on that body part.
Now, I know that wasn't what you wanted to go into. You originally thought peds, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pediatric. But then you did, I think if you told me you did like half of a rotation, you were like, heck no.
I spent like half a day in a peds clinic and I was like, I can't do this.
And pelvic floor was nowhere in your mind.
No.
And then you did it and you were like,
this is
the rotation,
sweet.
I mean.
Yeah, it was nowhere in my wheelhouse. I didn't know about it until I was in physical therapy school. And then I got scheduled with a pelvic floor therapist for one of my clinicals and I was like,
heck
nobody
no.
else in this program wants that. So I went into it and I was like, that was great. Not for me. I love that for somebody else.
So everyone is fully clothed the whole time?
No.
Yes.
Well, so I always leave it up to the patient.
Okay.
So there are some diagnoses or like some symptoms that may warrant.
Sometimes you have to put your finger up someone's bum.
Yeah. So I did the first clinical and then did the second. Got scheduled with another pelvic floor therapist. Yeah. Right. Not one wasn't enough. So they gave me another one. And I was like, okay, actually, this is really cool. And I do want to do this. Some diagnoses, some symptoms warrant a pelvic exam, either rectally or vaginally, depending on what sex you are or what symptoms you have. But I always leave it up to the patient. Like, I'm like, this is what would give us the most information. And this is what this might look like. But I'm going to leave that up to you. And I would say like 80% of the time, they're like, yep, let's do it. No problem.
That must be an interesting experience.
Yeah.
My immediate thought, and I don't know if this is appropriate or not, I'm just going to say
Probably.
it. I am super sensitive when it comes to people's odor.
Oh.
Do you have to smell stinky people?
I guess I don't notice it. That's the truth. I really don't notice.
Yeah, I think that would be what would prevent me. I would be so scared I would have to smell someone else's odor.
Yeah.
Like, in general.
I guess it's not really something I notice.
Maybe I should talk to the psychiatrist.
Yeah, it's not really. And then like people are always like, oh, I didn't shave, or like, oh, I didn't whatever. And I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
That's not what I'm looking at. Like, I'm not interested. I care infinitely more about what your muscles are doing. So that's the goal.
That's it. That's what I'm here for.
Yeah, that's what I'm here for. That's what you're here for. So
what would you say the hardest part about your job is?
I think the hardest part is when I have women that come in with pelvic pain during intercourse, and both situations, whether they've had a pain-free intercourse before, it's fine, and then all of a sudden it's not, or that's what they're used to and that's like all they've known. Trying to teach them like, this is where your pain is coming from. Like we found it. Like, this is where the problem is, and this is the stuff that we can do to make it better. But what I need you to do is to help me like not be so, which is easier said than done, like not be afraid of it. Yeah. Right? Because I think sometimes what happens is, especially I see this a lot in women, it happens in men too, but they get stuck in this like vicious cycle where it's like, it hurts when I have sex, and so then I brace for the pain, and since it's muscular, it's going to hurt more, and then I just get used to that. And so your body, I think that their bodies anticipate it, and then it's like this, we got to work through that.
And it's very, I think you and I have had a conversation about this before, where there's a large psychological aspect of it.
Oh, yeah.
I truthfully don't think I could do what you do. Honestly, I really don't think I could do it.
I think you could.
I don't think I could. I think that the conversation, like, I don't want to call myself a prude.
No.
But I think I'm going to call myself a prude.
It's tough. It's hard to...
I have a hard time talking about stuff like that, especially just intercourse in general, intimacy in general. So I think that would be very difficult.
Yeah.
I can't imagine how you do it.
I have had to fake it till I make it. I have a hard time saying the word vagina, which is funny, but I've had to like fake it till I make it. And I think one of my instructors told me, like, you as the clinician, like, you have to just be so confident in the things that you're asking and the things that you're saying, because if you're not, they're not going to be.
Exactly.
And so if you would have told me my first day of PT school, like, hey, one day you're going to have to sit with some women and ask them what kind of sex positions they're having sex in and like stuff like that.
Oh my God. I think I would faint.
In-depth conversations about the sizes of their partners. Like, I would have fainted, but then it's just been like practice, and I'm like,
you're just so used to it.
This is what I need to know. This is what we need to do.